Bam. There we are.
Hey, Clint.
What's up?
How's everybody doing?
Great. How you doing?
I am good. These are always a challenge, especially when I do these multi people interviews with some other podcasts. And if technology, so I'm just telling everybody now, we may talk over each other. Technology is a great thing. But Binkley, it's been a while since we've had you on, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time. You've been doing all right?
Doing good. How about you? You sound great, by the way. I don't know what you and Monica both sound really good, but your system you got up there sounds fantastic.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It was a lot of trial and error and a lot of bad sounding things until some people helped me with the audio. And every now and then we still mess it up.
Especially JJ Boogie, who we see in our chats. I bet he comes.
And John Jasper just said, "Good evening, everybody."
Hey,
good evening.
What's up, John?
Because he can't. It's probably the middle of the night for him.
Yeah. What time is it, John?
Why can't we see the chat?
I don't know why I did that last time, but I can put it up in the screen. There we go. He just said, "Good evening." There we go.
Good evening.
Yeah, I had, someone's been really nice to me at my home setup too. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I bought him a little bit of gear and gadgets.
Yeah,
because
I was stuck at home.
Had to up his game. Yeah, because he normally has a studio, but it's 11:30 for John Jasper. So both of our JJs come to this.
And I'm going to go to my Facebook page and make sure that, like last time, Monica, we don't miss people. I don't want to miss people.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to miss people. All right, so let's do this because I had this agenda, but we got you for 20 minutes because at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. You and Binkley host a special party. So let's get this out of the way. We'll start it and stop it with this. Tell everybody about what the party is and how they can be part of it.
So our show, our brand is the Propaganda Report. And every day we do a show called the Drive Time News Blast, which is 30 minutes of news of the day from a perspective of truth, liberty, and justice. That's free. Anybody can listen to it. And then there's another 15 minutes a day called the Patron 15 for Patreon members, patreon.com/Propaganda Report. But we also have cocktail parties for different levels of Patreon. So tonight is the VIP disappearing patron party. So friends of the show or patron saints for the price of buying less than it would cost to buy either of us a craft cocktail. You get to sit around with us for 90 minutes. Everybody has craft cocktails or whatever turns you on. Or if you're just high on life, that's fun too. And that's right tonight, 8:00 Eastern. So you can check that out if you want. And then next weekend, we have one with Sam Tripoli, who's pretty awesome, and his patrons. And that's even for less. That's a patron of the truth level thing. So check out our Propaganda Report Patreon page for lots of goodies, including a super fun cocktail party, which starts at 8:00 tonight.
So people still have time. They could go do this, join up.
Still time.
I already got dressed up, though. I always get dressed up. I like to have a good time. I changed my backdrop, Binkley. It's now
I see that. It looks great.
Looks like a real boudoir. Not that I'm going for that, but
lounge shirt. I don't know if you can tell.
There you go. Yeah. So we're in a real
representing
we really get into a party mood, and it disappears. Like you can't go back and look at it later, so that we can be sure of what happens in the disappearing patron party stays in the disappearing patron.
Unless you're in the CIA and you have access to everything.
We do have a few of those.
Let's be honest. Big Brother has got copies of everything you've ever done.
I know. That's the only reason we don't literally erase it is like, well, when we have to defend ourselves before the FISA court, I think we need to have a record. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I was going to do because it's not a mistake. Me and you, Monica, do a conversation every Saturday at 3:00 Eastern time. And I sent out, hey, I'm going to be doing this special edition with Binkley and Monica. And they started sending me some questions, some pretty heavy questions.
Oh, yeah.
No way we can get in 20 minutes. So we're pushing the heavy questions till tomorrow because how would you systematically change is not going to work with three people in 20 minutes.
Yes.
But we're going to have a get to know your Propaganda Report podcast quick episode. So we're 6 minutes into it. We got plenty of time, but if you're okay with
let's go to the top of the hour.
Let's do that. And let's just, this is not going to be all serious stuff, but I want to ask you some questions where my folks and even maybe your folks who see this down the road could get to know their host just a little better outside of all the politics and bull shit that has
Truth.
to deal with.
All the truth that we're spewing.
Well, here's one question I was going to ask, and it's down the list, but I'm going to jump into it. Binkley, you also, if I'm not mistaken, aren't you an actor?
Yes, I've done acting, improv, stand up, a lot of that for a long time.
I stumbled upon Joe Cleveland last night, by the way.
Joe Cleveland. Oh, my
You don't know who Joe?
Is that Investigative Murders? Is that what it was?
Swamp Murders.
Is that my name? My character's name? I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was watching TV last night, and I was on Amazon Prime I have a bunch of people over because, yeah, it's my birthday. Not today, but Monday. So we're all trying to figure out something to watch. And my sister's like, why do you have Swamp Murders saved in your stuff? It's like, oh, that's Binkley. That's Binkley plays a character in Swamp Murders. So we watched the whole thing.
Remember the Dixie Mafia?
You did a great job.
I've got
I just decided I was going to start calling you Joe Cleveland.
That's a great name. I got a buddy.
I didn't even remember it.
I got a buddy up here who's a stand-up comedian. He also is an on-air radio talent. And we have these special podcasts where we talk about how hard or just the life of a stand-up comic. Binkley, next time I do one with him, I might reach out to you because he traveled and he's done some stuff with some pretty big shows. His name's Eric Foster, E. Foster. I'll give you a holler if you want to talk stand-up one time. That would be fun.
I'd love to. I love talking stand-up.
Yeah. Well, especially to a guy like me, because I'm the guy that is, all of my friends are the ones in the bar always going, I could do that. I'm funny. And as soon as you get up on stage, because I've spoken in front of pretty large crowds.
Yeah.
As soon as you get up in front of a big crowd, if you're not funny, you're screwed. And if you're only funny once, you've got another 10 minutes to kill there, big fella.
Or if you need somebody to be funny with,
that's the context. When people know you and you're telling stories and you're funny, they know the context of you, and that doesn't translate to the stage because that audience doesn't understand.
And you know how far you can go before you have that look of horror. Like, what did he just say?
Yeah, not far at all.
Well, that's why you see a lot of movie stars or people that are pretty famous try to get into stand-up and they fail at it miserably because it's not the same as acting and it's not the same as, singing or doing it. If it's a completely different beast.
Yeah, and right now, a lot of the comedians you're seeing on late night TV are just telling the same jokes about how much they hate Trump all the time, and it's terrible. I actually think that there's a corner. It really is. It's bad. They tell the same variation of the same Trump. Oh, Trump's stupid and evil joke. And orange. And there's a opening, I think, for more, not necessarily even right wing, just comedy that's not all about how much you hate Trump all the time. I think there's an opportunity there.
Life, tell stories. All right, so let's do this. Let me start with some questions. We'll do some quick fires here, and you can give me your take on it.
Let Binkley go first, since I always talk so much.
All right, Binkley, here we go, and then Monica will answer. And I think I've asked you both last time you were on, but it's been months, so we got new audiences. Your favorite conspiracy? I know you talk propaganda, but what's your favorite conspiracy to talk about? If somebody were going to ask that, what's the one your head goes to?
I might not get what this conspiracy is. The details accurate. I'm telling it based on what I know about it, and that is the reptilian aliens. The theory that maybe the Anunnaki, that they came down here, that they lost an intergalactic war, were imprisoned on this planet as a prison planet, that the radiation belt was put around the planet to prevent them from leaving, and that they gene edited basically monkeys or apes to make humans because they wanted to have a slave race to be able to do all their work for them. And they've been operating outside of our awareness ever since then. I find it interesting because I read a story last year about a scientific discovery where we gene edited, our scientists gene edited, maybe Fauci was involved. I don't know. We gene edited a beetle bug that did not have wings, but they changed it to make it a flying bug. So they completely transformed what this bug was into something completely different. It was a breakthrough. And I'm thinking about it and I'm like, that sounds a lot like the story of the reptilians gene editing us and turning us into something that we previously were not.
Alex Jones, his kind of alternative website is Prison Planet? I always thought it's because every state is a slave state, but maybe it's a callback to that.
Yeah.
It could be a dog whistle.
Yeah.
Monica, what's your favorite conspiracy theory to talk about?
Well, since you put it just that way, I would say, but it's not really a theory. I was just telling Binkley, I was on a show recently, the Erase the State podcast, where I discussed my red pill moment, where the scale, which he coined, which is correct, the scales fell from my eyes when I had to investigate for my radio show. I was doing a radio show on WSB about the Boston Marathon bombing, the day it happened. And I was like, but what they're saying isn't true. Look at this picture. So I just went through all the details of that like yesterday on this podcast, Erase the State. And you can't get those kind of details anymore. Ever since Parkland, it completely shut down the internet, the deeper truth on the internet, February 14th, 2018. So it was kind of the most robust body of evidence you could find on an official narrative being completely debunked and going to the fact that the CIA is more responsible for the war on terror than organic radicals.
Did you see the story that broke about that like 10 minutes ago, I think?
No.
They changed the sentence for the bomber, didn't they?
Yeah. The death penalty is overturned for the Boston Marathon bomber.
Really?
They're sending it back to a Senate hearing, aren't they? I think
That's crazy because I think he died
yeah, I think
7 years. I don't even think he's alive anymore.
All right, here we go.
He'll probably hang himself.
You stop it
die
right
of
now.
COVID.
Stop it, Monica. Stop it. You're about
Sorry,
to take
why
this.
would you ask a question like that? You're so straight-laced. It's a crazy question to ask.
I have a
Did you see her eyes when we brought that up? She was like, ooh.
Leaned into it. She got a little louder on the mic.
I mean, I get two of the hostage rescue team of the FBI 1 month later fell out of a helicopter in a training exercise to their deaths, and the FOIA request went unanswered by the Virginian pilot.
Dear Big Brother, these are not the opinions of Clint Powell. These are the opinions of Monica Perez. Next question.
Poor Clint. He's really, you're going to get in trouble for cavorting with people like us.
My reputation has nothing to lose. What's the favorite movie? So you're surfing one day, you're sitting on the couch, you're scrolling through the TV, you see a movie. What's the one movie, it doesn't matter how many times you've seen it, that when it's on, you have to stop and watch?
You go first, Binkley, but I have an answer.
There's so many. The one that comes to mind right now, because I was thinking about it earlier today, is White Men Can't Jump.
I was thinking about that one too.
That. Oh, I've got to watch that because now I have a house full of people. I got to watch the
I love the trash talking.
Absolutely. When he's warming up, he's stretching. All right, Monica, what's yours? Well, you laughed.
Well, of course, I love the Truman Show, but the reason I laughed is last night we were looking for movies to watch, and there were a bunch of new free movies on Amazon Prime, and one of them just completely like triggered my watch, play, Galaxy Quest, and everybody, like even my kids or teenagers, like, Mom, really? We've seen that like 15 times. It's a parody. It's a parody of Star Trek or whatever, but it's just, I laughed so hard. Like I wet myself and the kids are just like, all right, Ma, it's kind of stupid.
All right, here we go. Well, this is a serious one. Remember, these are quick fires.
Sorry.
Hold on a second. Binkley's got this one. We're going Binkley first. What's the one thing, if you could change one thing, either a law or something about our system, what's one thing you could change right now that you think would make the biggest difference?
Wow.
Yeah. And it can be social. It could be something in our society. It doesn't have to be inside the government.
You should let me go
I hate
first,
to say the government has to mandate anything, so I'm not going to say mandated, but I would say it would be beneficial for society and everybody in it if we did 1 hour of self-reflection every day instead of escaping into the mind-controlled propaganda boxes.
Does it have to be a law?
No.
Can you give him that?
I mean,
okay. My answer, I thought you were saying a law, so I'm going to answer that question.
Yeah.
But I like Binkley's answer as long as it's not mandated by a gun to the head. So as long as you have that out there.
Reflect.
Yeah, exactly. Like if it's a law, I don't want to do it. I would go with a balanced budget amendment.
There you go. And
because then you'd have to connect the spending with the taxes, and then it would all stop.
Read Plato, that also.
Could you imagine a balanced budget this year? With no exceptions, read Plato. That would be great.
It requires a lot of accountability. We try to stay away from that here and then.
It would just be great. It's so simple.
Hey, listen, I got about 5 questions left. We got 13 minutes, and we have some people that are comments. I'm gonna put them up on the screen. Let's say hi. Let's say hi, Grace. And they're not showing up on the other thing, but Grace put a laughing emoji.
Hey,
Dave Cassie said, Pete introduced me to the Prop Report a few months ago. Since then, I haven't missed an episode. It's probably the most valuable podcast in the new normal. I'm very grateful for Monica and Brad for what they do.
Fabulous.
And he's just talking very highly about you guys. So
that's great. Why don't we get to see these chats, honey bunch?
I sent the Be Live people last week a little bug, and they said they're working on it.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
great. That's fine.
yeah,
Thanks,
Grace
guys.
Grace responded and said hi. Okay.
For the
Next
great
question.
comments.
And let's see here. Let's go to a fun one. Playlist. What you're listening to? What's music? What's your music when you work out or when you're trying to relax? You pick whatever you're doing, but what is something? Let your fans know what your playlist looks like.
I like rockabilly radio on Pandora, and I like the blues radio, and also like when I'm feeling a little attitude, I'll play a little George Thorogood just because I think he's ridiculous and
Look
awesome.
He is
at
ridiculous,
you.
but it does. I like him too. It does.
He's got a lot of moxie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is so unbelievably embarrassing. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. I just love, some of it's okay, but I love the kind of 80s alt pop stuff that just like gets you to clean your house. But that includes like the Talking Heads and Clash and Cure and Ramones, but it also includes Squeeze. And I don't actively listen to Madonna, but she's got a couple of good songs from that era. So I know it's awful. I'm sorry.
As long as you didn't say
I can
like,
also listen to Coltrane. I just, I'm
I
not
love jazz. I love jazz and blues, but as long as you didn't say something like "Aha," Take on Me.
No, I don't.
horrible.
I can't. I'm not naming that stuff, but yes, I love funk. Foundations of Funk
Oh yeah.
are great, and if you want to get kind of like Wilco,
Give me a book you would recommend to people, either something to read that's just entertaining or something to educate. You pick which one, but give me a book or a documentary even that you've watched lately you like.
Dialogues of Plato.
perfect. And I will bookend that with Against the Grain by James C. Scott, which I'm reading right now. And one of the blurbs on the back was one of those rare books that makes you view the world differently, which it did.
And it lived up to that. So it made that claim and lived up to it.
Yeah, I only read the blurb. I never read the blurb because I'm like psychotic about spoilers. So I don't read the blurb. And I only went back after I was halfway through the book, like, wow, did people like this?
All right, here we go. We got, I'm keeping us on track. We got less than 10 minutes because you guys got a hard out because you got that party. Monica's got to start making cocktails. Hey, real quick, Binkley,
Takes forever.
What do you drink during these little soirees y'all have?
I bought him gear too.
Mine, a very, very, very fancy drink in a nice glass that Monica gave me. Always includes Jim Beam. Sometimes it includes either Powerade or Coke or whatever the hell is lying around the house at the time.
Just water. Just little water.
I would drink Hurricanes out of a can if that's the only thing I had.
Well, of course. I mean, it was the only thing you had.
I need to get you some.
Have water.
I need to get you some Chattanooga whiskey, man. We need to get.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Chattanooga whiskey, and I'm a whiskey guy, so I like whiskey.
Yeah, I like whiskey too.
All right, let me think here. Favorite sitcom of all time, and then if you look over to the side, I think we're starting to see some comments. Can y'all see them?
Yes, we certainly are.
They're
It's
showing
easy.
up.
Seinfeld.
Grace knows me very well. She says Monica loves music. Haha. She knew me when my kids were young, and I could not listen to music for like 10 years because it interfered with my worrying.
Oh,
I had to always listen for the babies, and I just like someone put on music, like I cannot hear the babies.
Yeah, see,
Or that little beep that like when the door opens, it goes beep.
Mhm.
Like
I had 3 kids. By halfway through my second one, I was turning the music up for that same reason.
No.
Can you hear your kids? No, that's why I'm turning the music up.
No.
Okay, he likes
JJ.
Seinfeld. What's your favorite sitcom, real quick, and then we'll put this question up here. Monica,
My favorite sitcom is The Odd Couple.
oh, look at you going back old school. See, I'm a Sanford and Son, big time, and All in the Family. I grew up with that, and the Barney Miller Show because I remember watching all that with my
I love
grandfather.
Seinfeld too, but
Friends.
Odd Couple's my absolute favorite.
Okay.
Binkley, what about Binkley?
Binkley already answered Seinfeld.
What was it?
Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, right, for sure. Great one.
And he answered immediately too.
So John Jasper said that Tsarnaev still might get the death penalty, even if he's already dead, in keeping with the Inquisition, which apparently actually did that, tortured people after they were dead. Anyway.
dig them
That's
up.
funny.
And hit them again.
I think that's funny.
Let's see. It's a couple more questions. Yep, we got 7 or 8 minutes. Let me go to this one.
Arrested Development. She's right. Grace is right. My favorite movie or TV is Arrested Development. That's the one I dropped everything.
The first 2 seasons were good.
Wait. Hold on a second.
Yeah. The first 2 seasons. Definitely only the first 2 seasons.
Time out. The host is interrupting. You actually have people responding to tell you what your favorite stuff is because you don't remember.
Yes. I'm not, I put a lot of shit in that brain every single day and the other stuff gets squished out. So good thing there are people like Grace, good old friends who
I remember
when.
the Dangler Act of 1813. It really changed the world. What's your favorite song?
Kasi Komatase, 1878.
I don't have a clue what my favorite song is. Grace, tell me.
Song. Grace, what is my favorite song?
All right, so I already know Binkley does, he has acting and stand-up. But do you have a hobby other than, is it cocktails your hobby?
Cocktails and reading, not together.
When you're not doing something Binkley like that, what do you do on this just for you personally? Do you have a hobby?
I like to go play basketball.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
But you're still young. I used to play basketball until I was 40. So now I'm not. How old are you, Binkley?
I'm 39. I just turned 39. So
those knees are going to give up.
They're starting to.
I'm 52, man. About 7 or 8 years ago, I went out and started playing with my kids, and I realized just don't try that hard, Clint. Just
yeah. I played with my nephew the other day, and I'm going all out. And the next day, I was sore, man. I dominated. Don't get me wrong, but
tell them what to do. JJ Boogie thinks that I have momnesia. So I can't remember anything because of momnesia. But that's why I had to have no sound whatsoever. And JJ Boogie is as you can imagine, with a name like JJ Boogie, a musician.
Yes, he is.
So he couldn't imagine being a mom without some music, without a background.
You can only have one of these for the rest of your life. You can only have French fries, tater tots, or onion rings. Which one are you picking?
Tater tots.
Yeah, me too.
Wow, that was quick as crap.
For sure.
With
I'd probably prefer
mustard,
that.
Maybe. I'd
like to just do that right now.
I love tater tots.
All I want.
Give me a basket of them now. Yeah.
Occasional loaded. I make them. I'll sometimes smush them up and put eggs on them for breakfast.
We have a place called Waffle House. You can go get stuff like that at.
24 hours.
You also get a very unique experience if you go at the right time.
Isn't there a measure, a Waffle House measure of how bad the catastrophe is if the Waffle House
it's the weather. It's the Waffle House weather something. I can't remember the specific name, but Waffle House was the only place that didn't close at all, really, for weather. But if they did close, that's a signal. Apparently, it's in Wikipedia because everything in Wikipedia is true. It's a signal that shit's coming or stuff. Excuse me, sorry, but stuff is coming down.
I already did that.
Yeah, she's blew that a long time ago. You're fine.
Yeah, no, sorry.
You're fine. Let's see. JJ Boogie said sweet potato tater tots. Never had sweet potato tater tots.
Those are good.
I have the fries.
Yeah, they're really good.
All right, here we go. 2 more did you know questions, and the last one I think might require a little bit of a debate from you two. So the first one, the next to last question is only one for the rest of your life: pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
That's the right answer. Yeah. Monica?
I agree. Agreed.
All right, here's the question. Ready? I asked this on social media, and I may have asked this to you last time. It's okay. I put this on social media. I had 100 and something comments, and people actually getting in fights over this question. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I've had this debate before.
No way.
Yeah, I have. I've had this debate before, and I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say it's a sandwich.
Very controversial, Monica.
I agree.
You do?
I agree. Yeah, because the sandwich was invented supposedly by the Earl of Sandwich, who I met his descendant and maybe heir. And I said, I was too vulgar. I probably can't say it, but I made an SNL reference. Do you remember the Earl of Sandwich on SNL? Anyway, he made the sandwich so that he could eat his meat and hold it while he was playing cards. So a hot dog fits that.
So is a hamburger a sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Is a hot dog
actually called a sandwich at McDonald's?
Is a hot dog, if you change the bread that a hot dog is on, Does it change what it is that you're eating? I think not.
Is it
I
like
think
a
it just
wiener
changes
or a
the-
brat?
I grew up eating the hot dog actually on, white bread just folded up.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up eating that, or fried bologna. But I put that up there, and you'd be amazed at how many knows it's a hot dog. It's separate from a sandwich.
A lot of people believe that. Yeah.
I just let you know. JJ Boogie said boxers are brief. No, that's my answer. You two can go ahead and answer that one. That's
Whatever's freshly washed.
Semper ubi sub ubi, Clint. Semper ubi sub ubi. Always wear underwear.
Oh, is that your acronym?
Semper ubi. It's Latin. Semper means always.
Yeah.
Ubi means under. Semper ubi sub ubi. Oh no, where it means where. Semper
Briefs
ubi,
probably if I had to choose, but I'm not that selective on it.
You know what though? Here's the thing. Can y'all imagine how fast this would have gone if I'd asked a serious question? We'd have had one question. One question.
I promised I wasn't going to go on and on.
Well, we got a minute or two. Let's do it because I want your brain to be fresh for what you're doing tonight. Let's tell everybody one of you can take this one, how to find the podcast on a daily or weekly basis. And the other one, or I don't care who takes it. How do they get signed up to go to the party tonight?
Well, you can find us at thepropreport.com or on your favorite podcasting platform. You can find Monica at the Monica Perez Show or Monica. I always get it at Monica Perez Show.
At Monica Perez Show is my Twitter handle.
And my Twitter handle is at Freedom Act Radio. And you can find us on Patreon/Propaganda Report. That is how you get access to the party tonight. You become Monica.
Patreon.com/Propaganda Report.
What tier is it?
Patreon.com/Propaganda Report. And then for tonight, the lowest tier that is invited to the party that gets access to that link is a friend of the show tier. That's a $10 tier. But in addition to the party, you get 15 extra minutes of our show every single weekday. So it's a 45-minute show every weekend. Yeah. It's like 5-6 hours of extra content a week, plus 2 parties.
You also get access to all the other things we've posted previously.
$10 an hour for some premium content.
When are y'all coming up with, and I've said this before, y'all ought to come up with a Propaganda Report, either drinking glass that's got your name on it that people can drink your cocktails.
That's going to be a Monica Mixes product. Thank you.
Sorry.
But we're working on merch. I got a Propaganda Report mug prototype coming, and I've been doing a lot of legwork on the t-shirts.
Okay.
I have a couple of prototypes of those coming too.
Then Binkley, you've got to come up with the Propaganda Report mask.
All right.
He wanted to do a mask the day this thing came down. Absolutely. I got to do baseball hats.
Can I go show you my mask that I got recently? All right, I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'll tell him about it while you go. So we had a meetup in Georgia, which I couldn't go to because of quarantining. Like I went to New York on my way to Georgia, and the day I got there, they quarantined California and Georgia. But somebody at the meetup gave that to Binkley. She made it out of a gourd she grew in her backyard, and it's supposed to be a Black Plague mask. Remember those pictures from the day? I mean, it like works on so many levels, on homesteading, on mask ridiculousness, on the whole plague, and I just love it.
Gonna need some goggles to go with it now, I guess, because now we gotta just
show me again.
Tape our face up.
Or a face shield.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it has goggles, so isn't that good enough?
There we go.
That would work. I think that would meet the Fauci requirements.
So it doesn't, the goggles don't actually have to protect your eyes, right? Because the mask doesn't actually have to protect your face, your mouth.
Oh, right. It doesn't have to actually do anything.
The efficacy is not it. It's the ritual nature of the obeisance.
Okay, real quick. Here we go. Let's do two more things. There we go. Jim Jeffries. Why am I always on airplane daring?
Oh, Jim Jeffries. He is an original fan.
Mm-hmm.
He has been a fan of the Monica Perez Show since its start 9 years ago.
Remember hanging out?
I've met Jim Jeffries many times. Yeah. At the Harp.
All right. We're keeping it short. We did it. We were over at 7:01. We're going to let you go because you guys have to prepare for the party. So everybody go become a Patreon with the Propaganda Report. Enjoy the party tonight. Monica, tomorrow at 3:00 Eastern time. We're good?
Yes, with you. Yep. Yes. And Jim, there's another DPP next Friday. Be there or be square.
There you go. Hey, Binkley, I'll holler at you, man, because if I get on with E doing the comedy thing, I think you would enjoy that conversation.
Yeah, I'd love to.
All right. Thank you
for having us. See you.
Yeah, no, thanks, guys. Bye, everybody.